Before we start with the technical insights, I would like to give you a short introduction of us, that you know who's talking in front of you, and I also would like a few things about you. So, who of you already use SAP? Is there anybody here in the room? No? Okay, so a lot of interested people for this topic is fine as well. Okay, yeah, so my name is Thomas. I'm sales director of Theobald Software, a German-based technology company. Yeah, we are kind of expert for SAP integration. We have globally more than 2,500 customers using our tools, most of them in combination with Microsoft environments like the SQL Server. We have 3 offices globally. Besides our headquarters in Germany, we have an office in Seattle in the States, and we have also an office in Hong Kong for our Asian customers. And we couldn't do all that without our good and big partner network. So we have globally around about 180 partners, and one of our good partners is EliteMind. We are happy to be here with them here at the SQLDay for the first time. And yeah, Radek, the founder of EliteMind, is with us. Maybe you can give us a short introduction of yourself and about our cooperation and common projects.
Absolutely. Let me switch to Polish.
Sure.
Faster, and maybe I will not take you too much time, because it's really worth to see all the solutions. Pozwolicie, że przejdę na polski, będę mówił po imieniu. Nastrojony bardzo pozytywnie sesją Mata. Czym jest EliteMind? Dlaczego tutaj jesteśmy? EliteMind jest to firma, która zajmuje się generalnie realizacją projektów szeroko pojętych zarządzaniem danych. Mówimy tutaj głównie o business intelligence, data warehousing, całą platformą SQL-ową, począwszy od strojenia tej platformy, projektowania wysokiej dostępności, optymalizacji, i wdrażamy i tworzymy oczywiście rozwiązania business intelligence. W dzisiejszym świecie to nie jest sam business intelligence, to jest także zaawansowana analityka, czyli generalnie wszystko to, co możecie zrobić, dostarczając czy dla Waszych wewnętrznych działów biznesowych, czy dla Waszych klientów rozwiązania business intelligence. Tworzymy także projekty .NET-owe. Firma jest bardzo młoda, firma ma 1,5 roku. Ja przez ostatnie 14 lat zajmowałem się SQL Serverem, część z Was możliwe, że mnie zna. 8 lat pracowałem w Microsoftie jako architekt i konsultant bazodonowy. Jestem współtwórcą firmy EliteMind. Dlaczego jesteśmy tutaj z Theobaldem? Ponieważ jesteśmy partnerem Theobalda na Polskę i znamy rozwiązania tej firmy. Jeżeli potrzebujecie integracji z SAP-em, chłopaki na pewno o tym będą mówili, żeby stworzyć na przykład rozwiązanie, które jest raportowe, business intelligence, czy nawet hurtownie, które jest nadbudówką do bardzo heterogenicznego SAP-a, wykorzystując lepsze, moim zdaniem, w chwili obecnej, tańsze technologie niż SAP, który jest dostępny dla pewnej limitowanej grupy klientów. Theobald dostarcza świetne rozwiązania integracyjne. Mówimy tutaj o customowych pakietach SSIS, które pozwolą Wam się podłączyć do systemów ERP, SAP-a lub Business Warehouse. Rozwiązania integracyjne, które pozwolą Wam pobierać dane z hurtowni SAP-owej, czy na przykład uniwersalne interfejsy, dzięki któremu podłączycie się do SAP-a z jakichkolwiek narzędzi, które wykorzystują OData, czyli standardowe źródła danych. Theobald jest najbardziej znaną na świecie firmą, która dostarcza rozwiązania integracyjne dla SAP-a, najbardziej cenioną przez Microsoft. 6 lat już znam tą firmę, wdrażając także rozwiązania jako konsultant Microsoftu. Co ciekawe, dla tych, którzy nie wiedzą, maybe guys will tell about it later, but they are the owners of the code that is behind the Power BI connector to the SAP products. So you know that you had a contact with the experts that even Microsoft is proud of them, and they just delivered the code behind to the Power BI. Jeżeli chcecie jeżeli chcielibyście porozmawiać z nami, we are close to Theobald at the right and the right room, o rozwiązaniach Theobalda, o projektach, które realizujemy jako EliteMind. Zapraszamy, pokażemy Wam kilka case'ów, możecie porozmawiać z nami, jak zintegrować te narzędzia, jak zintegrować platformę Microsoft Z SAP-em mamy przy stanowisku naszego eksperta Mariusza, który ma doświadczenie z wdrażaniem technologii Theobald. Last but not least, szukamy specjalistów od Business Intelligence, platformy danych, czyli w ogóle szeroko pojętego SQL Servera, ekspertów od .NET-a do naszego zespołu w Warszawie i w Krakowie. Potrzebujemy w chwili obecnej 4 konsultantów BI-owych do projektów, które realizujemy. Nie jesteśmy, nasz fokus to jest dostarczanie gotowych projektów dla klientów w kilku modelach. Po prostu realizujemy projekty dla klientów, głównie kontaktując się z biznesem i tam widzimy największą wartość dostarczenia. This is Mariusz, the Theobald connector expert, so he will be able to help us, of course, with the experts from Germany. Zapraszamy do naszego stanowiska na miłą sesję. Nawiązujmy strategiczny networking. Na pewno będzie nam się fajnie rozmawiało. Okay, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. So as Radek already told you, besides all our implementation consulting partners, we're also Microsoft Gold partner as well. We have a very good connection to them, and they also recommend us often in aspect to SAP connectivity. And on the other side, we are also SAP partner as well, and which is much more important is that we are SAP certified for many years now, and this also for the latest technology S/4HANA, so we completely support that. Yeah, maybe a few sentences again about our customer base. So usually SAP customers start from the mid-market sector because SAP is a quite complex and expensive software, so it begins to make sense for mid-market companies, and it goes up to all big, large groups across all industries. Our software is module independent, so we don't have any focus for industries. We have many customers from German-speaking markets from Europe, but also, as I told before, in the States, and goes up to very famous and big companies. Talking about our portfolio, on the left side, on the upper left side, you see our Microsoft connector tools. So around about 75% of all our customers use SAP in combination with SQL Server, but we also open to other technologies, so we can connect SAP with data warehouses like Oracle, Teradata, Exasol, but also BI tools like Tableau and Qlik. And on the right side, you see our tools for process integration, so we also offer connectivity for SAP and SharePoint. And last but not least, we offer a developer tool. But that's it so far for the general information. I would say we go on with the technical insights, and further I would give the presenter to go on with the use case from Puma.
Okay. Thank you so far. So now we will talk about the integration that the company Puma has done. Before I start, my name is Koda El-Sain. I'm responsible in general for pre-sales and product management. I'm the technical guy at Theobald Software, so for any questions you are welcome to come to me. Before I start, I think everyone know the company Puma, is it right? Okay, perfect. Second question. Who have heard that SAP integration is difficult and expensive? Okay, so, and I hope that I can show you today that is really easy. Okay, and the challenge at Puma was they needed SAP data, and how did they do that? As many maybe do, they just export flat files from SAP. So on the SAP side, you need SAP developers, you need SAP resources, which are expensive to export that data as files, and that cannot be done always automatically. Yeah? So you need to do it manually and so far. And the challenge was to transfer that data from the SAP system automatically and fast and so far. The scenario was that Puma has introduced in all 120 countries. They have national organization all over the world, and they introduced SAP for retail, where they process their purchasing orders, the sales orders, and so forth. And the management reporting was based on the SQL Server reporting services and the SQL Server analysis services. So for that, they need an integration to extract that data from the SAP for retail, from all the national organization, from all the countries, from the different modules. For example, purchasing orders from the module for material management, sales order from the module sales and distribution, to extract that data into the SQL Server. For example, they analyze which items are needed in which organization, in which country, which manufacturer are in that area, and comply to quality standards, for example, deliver reliability and so forth. And they have made market research, they have invited us, and we have shown them our tool for the integration, for the direct integration between SAP and the integration services and the SQL Server. You can find the case study, you can read it in detail if you'd like, you can find it on our website. I would like to focus today on showing you how to do that. Yeah? So that is my focus today, and as I've told you, you can find the details on the website of the case study. So for the scenario, they are used, as I've told you, integration services, and on the left side they have their SAP for retail system. And as the destination, they have used the SQL Server, and ExtractIS, our tool, our SAP connector tool, can be seen as a plug-in in the integration services, where you have the connectivity to the SAP system. In this scenario, we will focus on SAP ERP, but further SAP system or SAP BW, so it is the business warehouse for SAP, can be used here for connectivity too. In this scenario, where the ERP system is a source system, the tool offers different components. So on the SAP side, you have different objects. For example, you have tables. The tables can contain master data, can contain text data, transactions, and so forth. But you have other business objects. When we talk here about SAP, we are talking about the application server, not about the database. So our connectivity is always directly to the application server. And further objects exist on the SAP side, like functions, queries, ABAP reports, and so forth. And then we have here a Delta Q component that is able to talk to the extractor API in ERP. So what is the extractor API? It is in general the standard interface for SAP customer to transport data from ERP to their BW, to their business warehouse. Yeah? And here, in this case, even if you are using SQL Server for data warehousing and for reporting, as a customer, you are able to use the same API in ERP system. And that is that Puma used. They have used here this component to extract data from tables. They extracted, for example, customer data and vendor data in general, and many relevant data for that. And they have used here this component for extracting the orders, the purchase orders and the sales order. One of the big benefits here is this component is able to deliver automatically delta data, so it means incremental data. So you may think here you have purchasing orders or sales orders, 10 of millions or maybe 100 of millions, and you would not like to extract that in full mode. For example, Puma extracts the data 3 times per day. And using this component, they are only extracting the incremental. So I need just the new orders or maybe the changed orders. And that is what I will show you. There is sure another scenario where there's a PBW system is the source system. That's possible too. Here again on the BW system, we have different objects that can be used as sources. So it can be the multidimensional cube in BW system or the query on that or other object types. Today I will focus on ERP system. I will show you an example how Puma have done that for master data and how Puma has used the delta Q component for the incremental load. If we have enough time, I may show you the integration possibility with BW. Okay, so that's all. Now I would like to switch to live demo. Okay, so for that we are using integration services. So let me create a new project. I need integration services project. Okay, so I start with creating my connection managers. I need connection manager to the SQL server and I need a connection manager to the SAP system. The connection manager to the SQL server is easy. I just use here, for example, the OLEDB connection driver that is delivered by Microsoft as default. In this case, I'm using here a database that is running on my laptop. That's easy so far. Now I need connection manager to the SAP system, and that is a part of our tool. Just create new connection manager, and here you should find then the extract connection manager for the SAP system. So I need here a connection, as I have told you, to the SAP application server. So here I define, for example, which client you need on the SAP side, an SAP user who has the access rights, for example, to extract the data from the tables and from the different objects. So here I need the SAP username and a password. I need a connection language. That is important if I get messages from SAP system or information. So in this case, I will set it for English. And then I need the information about the SAP application server. So in this case, I cannot connect to the Puma system. Is it clear? I have an SAP demo system, but we will do a similar scenario with similar data. Yeah? So in this case, I am connecting to our SAP demo system. I need a host and system number. And I can check here the connection. I hope that we have a good connection to Germany. Yeah, perfect. So we have successful SAP connection and we have a successful connection to the SQL server. So now we can start. I just need a data flow task. And in the data flow task, when you install extract.is, you will find on the left side the different components that we have talked about. So the first scenario for Puma was extracting master data. Yeah? So they have done that for customers, for vendors, and for different master data. Today I will just show you an example, for example, about extracting customer data. So here now I'm connected directly to the SAP system. I can search directly on the SAP system. What I need is sure to know the technical name of the tables. Yeah? Important. I am not connected to the database. I'm connected to the tables on the application server. For customer data, so in SAP, the customer data, they don't exist in just one table, but in different tables. So you have, for example, customer data for sales, customer data, contact persons, and so forth. So, so I'm searching now on the SAP system, and as you see, for example, for customer, I have here customer master sales data. So this one here for the sales data, I have other information for shipping, for partner functions, for contact persons, and so forth. So I would start here with sales data. Select OK. So now the metadata has been fetched directly from the SAP system. It means the columns, which columns, the column descriptions, and so forth. Here, as you see, I have, for example, the field for the customer number. I can just select it. I have further fields, for example, the sales organization, distribution channel, division, and further fields. So I can select all the fields for the information that I need for my analysis. So when I am done, I can here make a preview, and now the data will be extracted directly from your SAP system to see a preview of the data. So far, so fine. We have selected here some columns from the customer sales data. So in this case, we need further data that come from different tables. I can join them here directly. That's supported. Let me, for example, search for customer data. I need maybe his name, the name of the customer, address, and so forth. For that, I have a further table. This table here, it contains general master data about customer. So let's select the table, and as you see here, the relation will be created automatically between the two tables based on the metadata on the SAP system. So you don't need to understand the relation between the tables. Yeah? That's done automatically for you here. So here in this table, I have, for example, here the country of the customer, I have the name, I have further fields for city, and so forth. So I have selected again here further columns. As you see, the country, the name, and the city, I can here create an alias, so a description, and so forth. That's possible, and make a preview. So it's a live preview from the SAP system, and here we see now the further columns from the second tables. So here, this is the code for the country. So US for, it's clear, USA, DE for Germany. I have the name and further columns. If I would like to make a filter, that's possible, no problem. I can create it here. So for example, let's say we would like to filter, I would like to have only customers from a country or from a customer group, and so forth. That's possible. And here I have the available fields. In this case, let's maybe select this one. It's the country, and make a filter. I would like to have only US customers. So, and that's it. What we can do, we can again make a preview to be sure that we have the right data and the where clause is correct. As you can see it, yes, we have only US customers. That's all. Okay. So now we are done.
Can we use the parameter?
Yes, you can use SSS variables and so forth. That's supported. So that is what will be used in general, yeah. But I would like to keep it here easy and simple. Okay, so we are done. So sure, you can use here transformation so far. I would just create here an OLEDB destination. Okay, let me just connect the two components. And as you know, now I can create the table on the SQL server. As you can see, the metadata are coming from SAP, so that can be used as a data types here for the column names, for the columns, and so far. Okay, so far So for now, the table has been created on the SQL Server. So we can check that. So I'm using this database here, and this is here our table. It's still empty. We haven't extracted the data yet. Okay, but now we can execute the task, and now the process is running, and the customer data are now extracted successfully. Here I see the number of rows. That's fine. Now I go here again to SQL Server and check the data, and here you have it in SQL Server. What do you think? Is it difficult and complicated?
It's not.
Yeah? And this is one of the advantages that Pumas see. So you have low cost of development on the SAP side. Here in the SQL Server, you have again low cost for development and follow-up, and you have an easy operation here, as you can see. Yeah. So that was for the first scenario for extracting master data using tables. The table components in general is used to extracting master data from tables. It can be master data as in this case, but you can extract further table data. If that is clear, now I will show you the second scenario regarding extracting incremental data from SAP. Okay, perfect. Who have seen the SAP client? Who know that? Okay. So in general, let's say SAP power user are working with this client. Okay. So on the SAP system here, I'm logged now to the SAP server. Now I can check the data and the tables. I can make transactions, for example, create a quotation, or change a quotation, and so far, or customize my SAP system. So what I would like to show you is in SAP, for example, you have the business content. This business content, it has the extractors that are in general used to transport the data from ERP to BW. So if we check that here, you have the business content for different modules. As you can see here, for example, you have this one for material management that has been used in this case by Puma for purchasing orders. So if here you go down, you see here a list of this standard extractor that are delivered by SAP, and that in general provide this delta functionality automatically to deliver the delta from SAP. So here this extractors for purchasing data, as you see here, has been used, and further data from SD has been used too. We can check that. So let's look here for SD. This one here says in distribution, and here again you see a list of extractors. So that are standard extractors delivered by SAP. Sure, a customer can configure that and extend it, or he can create his own extractors. So in this case, those extractors has been used, and here, for example, if you see here, I have two extractors for sales document. One is for the HIDA data, and the other one item data. It means the position in your orders. And you have further extractors for condition and so far. If we check this one here, I will make just a double click, and you see here, for example, the property delta update. So it means by default this extractor can deliver the incremental data from SAP. The customer or the consultant don't need to make any configuration here. Yeah? It's standard functionality that we can use. And sure, the BW system does the same. is the BW system use the same object here. Okay, so that's all. And in this case, I will use this data source here to extract the sales document from the ERP system. So let's switch again to the integration services. I will disable this data flow task and I will create a new one. Okay, so for that I need another component. It's the delta Q component. Okay, so again here I can search directly on the SAP system. Again I need the name of my object, in this case of my extractor of data source, and here again you see the list of the availables. So in this case I would like to show you here in this example the sales document item data, so it means the positions in your sales orders, but it is similar for all other extractors and data sources. So now I can select it, and now I have here available fields, so I can select them, and sure I can create filters. I can use here constants or variables. That's supported so far, no problem. For that we need some configuration on the SAP system, so it's technical configuration just one time to create destination and program ID. So that is done here in my case. Let me select the configuration data here. Okay, so that's all. The configuration is done. What is important is this update mode here. So this is important for the process to get the incremental data. So in general you have two scenarios. One scenario is full extract, so it is similar to table extract. Okay, you extract all the data in a full mode and you don't need incremental data. The other scenario is when you would like to have the incremental data. So in general you would start with initialization. So it means, let's say you would like to extract your sales order. You may have 10 millions or hundreds of millions. In the initialization, all of the data will be transported, will be extracted from SAP. And in the second run, you will switch to delta update. Delta update, it means the SAP system will manage any change automatically for you and just deliver the change since the last run. So
maybe I have not focused the differentiation between full and generate initial.
Yeah, so for the incremental process, so it is the default process that is used to transport data to BW. Okay, so when you make full, it means no incremental data, no delta. Each time you have to run it in full mode. You get all the data again. Okay, for the incremental, what we will see, you will start with initialization. It means you extract the data, and after that you can switch to update, and the SAP system will deliver the changes. Okay, that's what we have to do. Sure, and sometimes you may have errors, for example network connections or any other errors. You have a mode, repeat mode. It means just send me again the last changes. Yeah. So sure, here I cannot make an initialization. It may take hours. It's dependent on the amount of data extracted. Sure, you can make filters and so far. For that I have prepared the initialization, and I will just go further here with delta update. Okay, so we will just extract the changes from the SAP system. Okay, so to delta Q, and again let me. Okay, in this case we have two output. This one is the data output, and the other one is the log, if you would like to analyze the log insofar. Okay. I need here a name, so let's say I'm taking just the technical name of the data source in this case. Okay, so again, let's create the table on the SQL Server, and that's the mapping. So sure, here we have used the delta update mode. Just check it. The delta update mode, in this case, it means SAP should deliver just the changes since the last run. Okay, so that's all. Let's execute the task. So in this case, on the SAP side, a background process is running that would collect all the changes that has been made on the SAP system and deliver that. So we need to wait some seconds. So in general here you see you have a log for everything. I will go here to the progress tab, and as you see here you have more further information, and one of the information is it means no data available. It means there are no changes at the moment in the SAP system. Okay, that's fine so far, but we will change it now. I will go to the SAP system and make some changes in the sales order. Okay, so we need to go to the transaction to change a quotation order. In this case, here I have a quotation number. Let me select the quotation number, and here I see in this quotation I have just two positions, position 20 and position 30, and the material number and the order quantity. So I will make here some changes. For the first one, I will change it to 50. This one here, I will delete it. I will delete this position, and because I need another material, okay. And I will save my changes. Okay, so what I have done, I have changed a position, I have deleted a material, and I have inserted a new material. That's all. Now I switch again to my process, and I will run it again. It's important to understand here that in this case, I will just insert the incoming data from SAP just in a table. What you should do in general, you have to post-process this data, to merge it with existing data and so forth. So we have made 3 changes. So change a position, delete a position, a new position, actually just 3 actions, but I have get 4 rows. Is it a problem? Okay. Actually, we should understand the process on the SAP side, so it should be clear why. For new row, I have for a change I have 2 rows. I will explain why. For a new position and for a deleted position, I have a row. So now it's clear I have 4 rows. Let's check the data at first. Okay, so let's close this one here, and let's here again refresh. Okay, so this is here, as you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's right. I have here different columns, so let me just, I have prepared here one. So let me connect again. Okay. Okay, so perfect. I have here just one request ID is okay. One request is mean just one process where we get incoming data. And now here I have just selected the columns that are relevant for us. Okay, so let's say, so position 20, that is what we have changed. The alt quantity was 30, so it comes here with this flag, and here I have minus 30, and the new quantity is 50 for the same. So for any change, you get two rows. In this case, two rows. One row with the old status, and one row with the new status. We have done that here. Okay, and then for position 30, actually I have deleted and created a new one, but as it is the same position, so it is a change for SAP. Right? Because I have deleted position 30 and created a new position. The new position has to get the same number 30, so it is a change for SAP, but it's not a problem, because if I show you now the material number, I will see the material number. We can do that later. But here it's the same. The one that I have deleted, it had the quantity 40, so I have minus 40, and the new one had the quantity 50. Okay, let's check the column for the material. I'm not sure, but let's try it. If this is the right one, yeah, perfect. It's the right one. And here you see in this case, in this changes the material number name, the material has been changed to. So this was the old one that I have deleted, and this is the new one that I have selected, and so far. So, as you have seen, we have made changes in SAP, we have deleted positions, we have changed positions, we have created new positions, and we haven't done any other configuration on the SAP system, and all the changes have been delivered. So we have all the features of this Delta functionality that can be used here in SQL Server for reporting, for analysis services, and so forth. So the same advantages that SAP BW customer would have, with the direct connection, with the direct integration with the integration services. Okay. And as I have told you, this is the first step to get the data. The second step should be to post-process the data to merge it with the existing one, and so forth. Okay, so that is so far about just two examples of the Puma use case, using tables to extract the master data and extractors to extract transaction data in a Delta mode. We still have some minutes. In this case, I can show you in a sample how an integration can be done with BW system. It's similar, it's really easy. All what I need is, again here, I need BW connection. So let me disable, let me go here to my connection, and in this case it's easy. I just need to change the host name. I have the same username and password, and let's check the connection. Okay, so we have here again successful connection to the BW system. Let's say okay, and again I need a new data flow task. Okay, so for that I would use here the cube component. With the cube component I can extract data directly from the cube or from the info cube in the BW system, or from queries that are based or created on this multidimensional objects in BW. So again I can search directly on the SAP system. I have two options. I can search for cubes or for queries. Again, I just need the name. So so in this case, let me just extract from a cube directly. So this is here demo cube, demo sales cube again. So just select it, and now you have on the left side, you have all the measures, key figures or measures and in SAP. And then you have further dimensions of that cube. So you can select here the measure that you need. For example, let's say here the net value. And you have here further dimensions. Let's say company code. And for each dimension, you have further properties. For example, for the company code, you have always the number and the name and maybe in this case the country and so far. So you can select all the dimensions and the properties that you need. So let me select just some of the dimensions. Material, let's say sales organization, sold to party, it's the customer. And let maybe say calendar day. So that's all so far. We have here further properties that enable an extraction really of mass data from the BW system. So you may have cubes in BW systems with really millions, hundreds of millions of data. That's possible. We have here different settings that make it fast, that make it possible to extract that amount of data. Okay. So here again, let me make a preview. In this case, just a small amount of that data is extracted from BW, and I can see it here as a preview. Okay, so that's all. And similar, I can now create destination on the SQL server. So let's call it sales cube. And again, let's connect the two components together. I will create the table. Okay, so that's all. And I just run it. So I have here the possibility to rename the columns, to use the description, for example, as column names and so forth. That's possible, but here for me it's important just to show you how easy and how fast that can be done. And here again, it's successful. I see here the number of rows. I have for each extraction, I have here a detailed log if any error occurs and so forth. And so let's check here again. I should have no new table. The sales cube, yes. And as you see here, the cube data are now in the SQL server and can be used now for further processing, for using in reporting services, for using in SQL Server analysis services, in Power BI, in Excel, or as you need, or as the customer needs. Okay. May I ask how many minutes do I have? 5 minutes. Okay. So that was so far from my side about the scenario that is used by Puma. We have further scenarios, further use cases, depending on the sectors, on the SAP source system, and so far. If you are interested, you can find that on our website. If you have questions, or if you have questions in project, so we have here our partner in Poland, but we have further offices in different countries, for example. It shouldn't be any problem. I would like now to give you the time to have a discussion with you about that scenario that I have shown you, or in general about your questions or your experience, or maybe the difficulties that you have had or you have heard of, and so forth. So it's you if you have any questions at the moment. No questions. Okay.
Can you tell us something more about the direct access from the reporting tools?
Yeah.
That's only the one way to
Yeah.
get the data from the SQL.
Yeah, yeah. If we go again here to the okay, so we have different options for the integration. So now we have just seen this one here using the integration services. In some other scenarios, you have reporting services and you would like to have a near real-time connection, integration between the reporting services and the SAP. Yeah, you don't need or you don't want to have a middle layer or a data warehouse and so far. Yeah, a direct connection between the reporting services for the reporting management and so forth and the SAP. That's possible, and that can be done with the reporting services, with the connector for the reporting services, extract RS. So in the reporting services, you can do similar what we have done here. For example, if you need data from your tables or from Cube, so you can define it there, and you have a live connection. When you make an update in the reporting services, the data will be extracted directly from SAP. It can be ERP, it can be W, will be extracted directly to the reporting services. There are further options. For example, here, extract universal. It is an SAP connector again. It gives you the advantages to extract data again from ERP and from BW, but without using integration services. Why do we offer that? In general, it is used by, let's say, power user, maybe for example controllers and so far, who have a SQL server, but who don't have experience with integration services, or who don't need that ETL tool, or maybe they are using another ETL tool, but they are using a SQL server as a database. So that's possible. You can use extract universal in this scenario, but you can use it for further scenario. You can extract data directly, for example, into Power BI. It can be Power BI desktop or Power BI in the cloud. You can extract the data to Excel, to further to SQL Server in Azure or Azure Data Warehouse, or maybe just to SharePoint list. So in this case, many Microsoft products are supported as destination. So in this case, we are very flexible, and it depends on the scenario what the customer needs. Okay. Do you have any questions? So if not, thank you so much for your time. If you would like to come, we have a booth. Just come to us and to our partner, and we'll be pleased to discuss with you and answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
We have gifts as well from MailingMind and from Theobald. So
yeah, sure.
If you participate in the lottery,
okay.
feel free to join us.
Yeah. Thank you.